Hello world, I have a very slow and honest video for you today. I'm not gonna be super productive, trying to seem what I'm currently not, because I've been analyzing my whole life recently. And this video is about expectations from myself that I used to have, but now I'm choosing to quit them and just not put myself in that box anymore, you know what I mean? Because we tend to expect so many things from ourselves. And this might be motivating at some point, but sometimes it's just so destructive. And when you realize how much you're exaggerating with being perfect, with being, just the person that you not really are, but try to be. I mean, am I making any sense here? So, 5 things. Yeah, 5 things. I made a iPad note because I forget things sometimes, and I tend to be very in the flow videos, but here I want it to be as structured as possible, just to make you guys understand whatever I'm trying to tell you in the best way possible. So the first expectation that I used to have, and now I'm trying to quit it, is to commit to one thing once and for all. It can be literally about anything, about place to live. Let's say that, a place to live. I moved to Moscow 3 years ago, and I never meant it to be my final destination. So I always knew that there was something else out there waiting for me to come and discover it and make my life around this place. But at the same time, I was kind of expecting myself to finally find that last destination where I would feel comfortable, where I would settle down, make a life in one single place. And I'm not doing that anymore, because at some point I kind of realized I'm not that kind of person. It was a nice discovery. Actually, I was talking to my mom, and at that point I wanted to move to Portugal. I was really loca por eso. And she told me, but are you really sure when you move there? You make all these efforts, all these documents. If you don't know, I have a Russian passport, which is not really strong. And it takes some effort to go literally anywhere in the world. Lots and lots of things just to be able to live in the place where you want to live, unlike many people in this world. Welcome to the living with a weak passport reality. And she told me, are you sure it's all worth the efforts? Because what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing in you is something different, is that you will probably want to move somewhere else in a year or 2. And I was like, wow, how deeply this woman understands me. Okay, she's my mom, she basically created me in the way I am, but that was kind of unexpected. And this is when I really asked myself if I am able to commit to one place, to make it my home. It's quite possible that it would take me at least some time to find this kind of place where I would like to come back every time I travel somewhere else, because it has never really happened to me so far. Anywhere I live, I feel this strong attraction to the farthest point possible, to go there, discover that place, and to just find out if it's my thing or not my thing. But I'm probably just not the type of person who stays for a long time in one place. This is what I discovered about myself last year, and this year I'm trying to make a real tangible effort to stop trying to put myself in that box. Where do I want to live? I don't know. I don't freaking know. Maybe I'll never find out. Maybe I'll just spend my whole life being a gitana, a gypsy. I do have some gypsy ancestry. Speaking of commitment, I don't really see myself committing to one job or just any activity, any career for the rest of my life. I will probably change several of them, try different things throughout my life, because life is big. I mean, in a moment of making this video, I'm 25, and I do have something that I can spend hours and years doing, which is languages, learning languages, teaching languages. But at the same time, I'm giving myself this permission when I'm 30, 40, whatever, to just change it, to start, learning something else, and then building a brand new career in some area that I never thought I would get into and be a professional. I am giving myself this opportunity and I'm not judging any decision career-wise. Same thing for the people. Until very recently, I saw myself like making a family, really committing to one person for the rest of my life. This was what I wanted, what I thought I wanted. But I've been going through a very painful breakup lately, and the worst part of it was that I realized it's not enough to love and to be loved in order to spend the rest of your life together, which was probably one of the most painful lessons that my 20s have taught me so far. And I mean, discovering that all this, everything is possible if you love each other kind of culture has been lying to us. It's unfortunately, I would love it to be true, but it's just not exactly how things work. And I spent so much time trying to fight it, trying to say, no, that's not my case. I can't commit to one person. I can live this happily ever after kind of story. The more I analyze the way I am, the more I get to the conclusion that it's probably not my kind of plot. And I will probably have several love stories, beautiful love stories. I mean, it doesn't make them less significant. They are just different. And at different parts of my life, at different points of my life, I will need different things. I will need different people. I will be comfortable interacting with different kinds of energy from different cultures, maybe. Who knows? So I am not expecting myself to commit to just one person for the rest of my life for now. Things can change. I admit it. The second expectation from myself that I am absolutely quitting this year is being perfect at anything and everything I do. In our Eastern European culture, we have this exaggerated need to be excellent. In many European countries, I know that it's just impossible to get the highest score in all your subjects at university, particularly in France. I've heard lots and lots of things about France, that Russian girls come to study there and they've always had like the best grades, perfectionist, workaholic, high achievers kind of girls. And this is exactly what I am. Whenever I try to like take up a new hobby or just try to create something, I want so desperately for it to be perfect, to be like flawless. Because in post-Soviet countries we have this exaggerated perfectionist culture that demands you to do things perfectly or just don't even start. I mean, if you're not doing it well, what you're doing. And I've heard so many times from people from other cultures, because I'm really exposed to many different cultures, that I am absolutely unable to allow myself to make mistakes. And this is so weird. I mean, this is how we learn, by making mistakes. It never goes smoothly for the first time, and it's okay because you're freaking learning. You're a beginner. If you're a beginner, you just can't possibly make it right. So whatever I'm starting right now, I'm not talking about work, when it's my area of expertise, when it's something that people really rely on me and pay me for it, okay, I need to get things done like real well. But if we're talking about hobbies, I learned to ride a bike when I was 21 years old, guys. And I was absolutely terrible at it. And it was so much fun. Now I'm learning Arabic and I'm absolutely terrible at Arabic. I mean, if I say something, the person makes me repeat the same thing 3 times to understand what I'm saying. But you know what? I'm kind of enjoying being an absolute beginner, being someone who just starting the path of learning the thing, and it's so much fun to suck at things. I absolutely love it. So I'm not expecting myself to be perfect like from the day one at anything that I'm beginning, any project that I'm starting, any music that I compose. I just let it be imperfect. And it's so liberating. Number 3, something else that I used to expect from myself but not anymore, is always knowing what to do. Right now, I am at the part of my life where I have absolutely no plan. I know the next step I'm gonna take, but I have absolutely no clue where I'm going in the long term, which is so unlike me. This planning and like having a clear idea of your goals, of your ambitions, of what you want from this life was a part of me for so much time that I just forgot how it feels not to have a plan. If you're someone like me, please try it at some point of your life. Like, really let it go. Let the universe just take you and lead you wherever you actually need to be. You might discover some things, some places you never expected to find. And sticking to the plan might be sometimes so destructive because you just don't allow yourself to discover things that are not written in your plan. Number 4 is being nice to everybody. Not everyone really deserves it. And I used to be nice with all sorts of people, like people who insulted me, who just didn't give a shit about what I felt. They had all sorts of inappropriate behaviors, and I've been told so many mean things, and I just didn't know how to behave because I felt inferior, because I felt they were like grown-ups and I was a teenager, and I felt that I was just not entitled to set boundaries for myself and to make other people respect me, which is actually some basic right that everybody has. Somebody is being rude to you, you have all the right to be rude to them. If you feel like saying something, you can absolutely do it to protect your own inner peace. If it makes you feel good, go for it. And the last thing that I will never do ever to myself is expecting myself to not need any help from other people and doing everything alone. Like at school, at the university, yes, anywhere I was like a student, I hated group projects. You know why? Because I always end up doing the whole thing on my own because I just don't trust other people enough to make my grade depend on their stupid asses. Oh, that was arrogant. But the point is, if you're alone, if you do everything alone and you have no partners, you're not collaborating with anybody, you're not able to realize your full potential, okay? So there are people who do one particular part of the job better than you can. Please ask for help. Everybody will benefit from it. Like, hear me out. You can't do every single project, like every single part of every single project you do in your life completely alone. You're just, it's impossible, okay? This is what I learned. I've tried that too many times. And I had several projects where people who hired me to do a job expecting me to like do the whole thing by myself, and I had no support from anybody for any part of the project, and it felt so overwhelming. Do you know what I did? Nothing. I didn't ask for help. I didn't come to them and say like, hello, I can do this part of the task, but I can't really bear the whole thing on my shoulders alone. But I was like, oh my god, but if I do manage to do it all by myself, imagine the status that it's gonna give me. Like, imagine how cool I'm gonna look in the eyes of these people. You know what? I didn't finish a single project where I have no help from others. Like, it was absolutely impossible for me to do that, let's just face it. So let's draw a line here. This is it. This is all that I wanted to share with you today, guys. And I hope this video might inspire someone, make you feel a little bit better and less under pressure with this huge amounts of information and goal setting, smart goals. Reflect a little bit. Like, is it something that I see myself doing? Or maybe it's not. Thank you for being with me today, and have a wonderful day or night, whatever you're having. Bye.